Following the death of Pope Francis, the Catholic Church is preparing for one of the most unpredictable papal elections in modern history. The world watches as cardinals from across the globe converge on the Vatican, each carrying the hopes and expectations of their flocks. With over 1.4 billion baptized Roman Catholics worldwide, the decision on who becomes the next pope will have a profound impact on the Church and its direction. Will the cardinals choose a successor who continues Pope Francis's emphasis on social justice and interfaith dialogue, or will they opt for a more traditionalist approach? First, we turn to Cardinal Pietro Parolin, the current Vatican Secretary of State. Cardinal Parolin is in many ways the ultimate Vatican insider. As Secretary of State, he's essentially the Pope's right-hand man, responsible for the day-to-day running of the Vatican and its diplomatic relations with over 180 countries. Parolin is known for his diplomatic skills, his multilingualism, and his deep understanding of the Church's internal workings. His supporters argue that his experience and diplomatic acumen make him uniquely qualified to lead the Church in an increasingly complex world. However, some critics worry that Parolin might be too much of a status quo candidate. They argue that the Church needs a leader who's willing to shake things up and address the scandals and controversies that have plagued the Church in recent years. The question for the cardinals will be whether they see Parolin's experience as an asset or a liability. Next, we travel to Asia to consider Cardinal Luis Antonio Tagle, the Archbishop of Manila. Cardinal Tagle is often referred to as the People's Cardinal, and it's easy to see why. He is known for his humility, his infectious laugh, and his deep compassion for the poor and marginalized. Tagle's brand of Catholicism emphasizes social justice, interfaith dialogue, and a more inclusive church. He has spoken out against poverty, inequality, and the exploitation of the poor. Tagle's supporters believe that he embodies the spirit of Pope Francis, and see him as the natural successor to carry on Francis's legacy of reform. His election would be a powerful symbol of the Church's growing presence in the global South. However, Tagle's critics worry that he might be too liberal for the Church's conservative wing. Shifting our focus to Africa, we turn to Cardinal Fridolin Ambongo Basungu, the Archbishop of Kinshasa in the Democratic Republic of Congo. Cardinal Ambongo represents the extraordinary growth of the Catholic Church in Africa, a continent where Christianity is rapidly expanding. He brings with him the experience of leading a church facing immense challenges: poverty, conflict, and political instability. Ambongo is known for his courage, his outspokenness, and his unwavering commitment to social justice. His supporters see him as a man of deep faith and unwavering integrity, a true shepherd who is not afraid to speak truth to power. Within the Church, Ambongo is seen as a cultural conservative, particularly on issues surrounding LGBTQ+ rights and the role of women in the Church. Ambongo's election would be a historic moment for the Catholic Church, marking the return of the papacy to Africa after over 1,000 years. Continuing our look at Africa, we consider Cardinal Peter Kodwo Appiah Turkson from Ghana. Cardinal Turkson has long been seen as a leading contender for the papacy, his name frequently mentioned as a potential successor to both Pope Benedict and Pope Francis. Turkson is a scholar who speaks 6 languages, a theologian who has taught at universities around the world, and a pastor who has worked tirelessly for the poor and marginalized. Within the Church, Turkson has held several important positions, including President of the Pontifical Council for Justice and Peace. He is seen as a bridge builder, someone who can bring together different factions within the Church and foster dialogue and understanding. His election would be a watershed moment, making him the first African pope in over 1,500 years. In short, this conclave is expected to break tradition in many ways: geographically, ideologically, and demographically. The Church is at a crossroads, grappling with internal divisions and facing external challenges that are more complex than ever before. Whether the next pope comes from Europe, Asia, or Africa, the decision will shape the future of Catholicism in a rapidly changing world. Stay tuned to our channel for more updates on this historic event.